Welcome in, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Dave Collins. Another week, another Patriots victory.
Were you scared? Were you scared at all in the third quarter when Baltimore scored in 14 minutes or 14 seconds?
14 seconds
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it scared, but I said, okay, this offense needs to do something.
Okay.
And they responded.
Were you yelling at the TV? Because it's the first time I think this season that many Patriots fans got off their couch and screamed at the TV.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think the biggest question I have, and we'll get into those special teams mistakes, is why did Patrick Chung not return more punts? He returned the one, and he did fine. And then Jones is back in there. Obviously, Lewis knelt down in the end zone on the kickoff return, so that was fine. But I just was confused as why does Cyrus Jones keep going out there? How many chances does he get? And Belichick seemed to, I don't want to say make excuses for him, but he didn't seem to hammer him like I thought he maybe would happen.
And also Jones made a few mistakes on defense as well in the secondary, letting some big plays up too. My question was, I guess, why don't you put Edelman back there just to fair catch it every single time? Doesn't matter if it's inside the 5, inside the 10, or just let it go. You need somebody there that knows what they're doing, whether they're going to catch the ball or let it bounce.
Right.
That's the one blemish I think that the Patriots moving forward to their game against Denver, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
But right now, they survived. And it got me, I was like, I looked at it and went, whoa, okay, Baltimore might have a comeback, but it's the Patriots. If it was the Jets or almost any other team in the NFL, I would be worried if Baltimore's making a comeback like that. But with the Patriots, now you're fine.
And the thing was, it wasn't as if, I mean, minus those two things, Patriots probably played their most complete game they have all season long.
They needed to.
Against a good team.
A game that they needed to play.
Right.
End to end, snap to snap.
Right.
And you saw everybody else getting fired up. You know this is the stretch. You saw Brady on the sideline yelling at Edelman and everything else like that. So they're in perfect Patriot form for December.
Exactly. So
do you feel that way?
I'm happy.
Okay.
And going to Denver is going to be a challenge, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But you talked about Brady. You mentioned Brady, so let's talk about him. Right now, where does he fit in the MVP discussion? We talked about this earlier in the year, and now through 12 games, 8 for him. He's kind of starting to rise up, and people are saying, okay, now let's take him seriously.
I think because he has a perfect complement now with the running game with LeGarrette Blount so far, and we know he's been vulnerable over the past couple of seasons, I think he's fine. He can spread it out. All right, Gronk's not there. Bennett got in on the act. Give it to LeGarrette Blount, and somehow he managed to throw for over 400 yards. Now, I realize the Hogan pass was 65, 70 yards, so that took up a big chunk of it, almost a quarter of it.
Right.
But he's fine right now.
He's still doing his thing.
As far as MVP, he's fine. I think he can get the votes, even though he missed the first 4 games. He shows that he is the most valuable player to that Patriots team.
Right. And I mean, LeGarrette Blount, you mentioned him. He's having a great season. I think was that 14 touchdowns maybe now this year. That offensive line's playing well. The question I had, which wasn't exploited, is that secondary. You see some question marks in the secondary, but it didn't seem like the Ravens exploited that. They were going for some check down passes, some higher percentage passes.
The safe quarterback, a safe decision. You know who I really like on the Patriots, who's been around for a while, and you hear his name maybe once or twice per game, but I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves, Rob Ninkovich. I mean, I moved up here 10 years ago, and it seems like that guy, he took over for Brewski, and that guy has been around for 5 or 6 years. You hear his name every once in a while. He'll come up with a big play every 3 or 4 games. But I think, if Brady is the leader of the offense, which we obviously know he is, and the leader of the team, Ninkovich, I think, is sort of the quiet leader or just doesn't want all the accolades. But he's the one that's got to get everybody in check once they're on defense.
And as you mentioned, it's one of those guys, we talked about it a few weeks ago, they didn't have that leader on defense.
With Jamie Collins,
Right, and now it looks like maybe that's the guy to fire these troops up. They've always had a Brewski or a Vrabel, Ted Johnson way back, and maybe he's the guy. All right, before we end the segment, I have to talk about him. Great win for your Jets.
I didn't watch one snap of that game, Jeremy. I'm dead serious.
No, I believe you.
I didn't watch one game. I saw a couple of highlights. I listened to it for about 10 or 15 minutes driving around, hooking my phone in, but I couldn't care less about that game. What was the late game? Seattle and Green Bay?
Yeah, Seattle and Green Bay.
I was paying attention to that. That was a blowout too, but as far as the Jets go, it's like, they just hurt themselves by not getting a better draft pick.
And that's the thing. At this point in the season, it's
it might have saved Todd Bowles from more scrutiny, the head coach of the Jets.
Right.
But as far as the future goes, it didn't really help
and
him.
maybe saved Bryce Petty from more scrutiny because he's able to. They were down early. They were down 14-0.
I know. I saw it. I went, here we go.
Right off the bat. And maybe I'm looking at it a little naive, but give them credit. They fought back on the road. I know it was the 49ers. I know they're a sad team, and you're not going to sit here and give the Jets any praise, and that's fine. They don't really deserve much. But, hey, they came back and fought hard.
It's okay. There's always next season.
Next season, we'll get a high
just
draft pick.
endure the what was the sign that they saw? Just endure the season or something like that I saw against the Colts. It's, you know what? I'm waiting for next season, see what can happen.
All right, so we're going to step aside, take a quick break. We're going to come back with some talk of Steelers, Chiefs, Raiders, and also some rumblings in Dallas. Could Dak Prescott be on the bench, and Romo coming back? You're watching YCN Sports Talk.